Available in HD.
This program brought to you by McDonald's new M Selections range. It's a little bit fancy.
It's Tuesday night football on Fox Sports.
The away side first out onto the ground here with their skipper, and Tim Brasher leads them out. He's the fullback. Simon Forrest on the wing. The halves there of Craig Wing and Darryl Trindle. The forward pack of Hermanson, Garlick, Smith, Sloss, Burns and Troy Slattery, the lock forward. Now, Paul McGregor leads out the home side here, the Illawarra Steelers. McGregor is the skipper, back in the centres now. Has played a bit of 5/8 so far this year. Brennan Reeves, the fullback. Rod Wishart is there on the wing. Jonathan Britton, the other winger. Trent Barrett and Will Robinson, the halves. And that forward pack of Walsh, Purcell, Smith, Andrew Hart, Terry Lamy and Brad Mackay. And Wishart gets us underway here at Wynn Stadium. Already an early blunder by South Sydney, but lucky for Simon Forrest. That ball went backwards. Would have been a disastrous start. Forrest, a rugby union convert from New Zealand. We'll see a bit more of him later on today. Garlick at dummy half, goes for a gallop. Picks up only a couple of metres. Back slam to the ground there by Brad Mackay. Burns, locked forward by Trade, now playing in the second row. Hermanson, who had that massive game against Auckland, scoring a try and setting up another one. Back it goes for Trindle. Big kick here by Trindle. And Reeves to bring it back. Russell Fairfax joins us on the sideline. Russell, conditions close to perfect.
Certainly are, Terry. Nice, firm ground, pretty firm underfoot. A little bit of slippiness on top. Might make handling a little bit difficult, but very firm. No wind to speak of, a still day, so no side favoured by a breeze. And I can tell you, just looking at the two sides, they're very willing early.
You're tipping a boil over?
Well, no ball over for me. I think the Bunnies can get there today.
Finished his career with the South Sydney club, did Russell Fairfax. Now that's Purcell, a dummy half. Now Mackay. The fearless defender is Brad Mackay. Back for Trent Barrett. Possesses a very good passing and kicking game. McGregor with the chase, along with Wishart. Make the tackle, so a good chase put on there, Gary.
It was a good chase, and they've got the upper hand early as far as field position goes. That second tackle now driving the South player backwards, and they're flat out getting past the 10-metre line on the third tackle. And this is what the Steelers want to do early, just make it difficult for them to get a good kick away.
Won't see anything fancy from South Sydney in their own quarter. They come through Terry Hermanson. Comes into that shoulder of Craig Smith. Back it goes. Trindle. Trying to get it over the head of Britton, does so. It bounces up nicely for him, though. So far, both teams looking for good field position. That's the halfway line. Mousetrap play for Brendan Reeves.
Unusual to see that play so early in the tackle count, so early in the game. It really didn't have much of an effect. South defence. McGregor away now. He is the key, one of the keys out wide for Illawarra. Very difficult to contain.
Smith. And rugby union at school, Ipswich Grammar. In 3 Origin games now through Robinson and Barrett. Cut out ball. That's Lamy.
Trent Barrett has indicated he's going to the air, pointing up. He's got to put his players on side, a couple of them in front of him there.
Chase through. Wishart flies through. I thought he had it for a moment. No. It must have been awfully close.
Well, it was well done by Brendan O'Meara. He keeps his eye on it all the way. Wishart looked to have it in his hands. He did have it, but O'Meara ended up with it.
And Brasher up over the halfway line. Links up with the left wing. O'Meara comes back, still going. And Brasher, so the Rabbitohs showing their flair early.
Not a bad chase from Andrew Hart for the Steelers, cutting Tim Brasher off. He was away.
Now Chris Caruana, the former North Sydney Bear. The guard. This is Smith. Garlick goes to the left, and Trindle Holds it up. Here comes Brasher. Brasher scores for the Rabbitohs. Great play by the Rabbitohs. They get across. They lead by 4 points to 0. Set play, work to perfection.
Gee, we've got to give a bit of credit there to Darryl Trindle. A nice inside pass, but that was Tim Brasher's try. He got the ball from that 20-metre tap and made the big bust. And eventually here on the third tackle, inside Trindle just drags Brendan Reeves over. Trindle running sideways. The Illawarra defence went sideways, but not the inside players. You see there at the number 11, Andrew Hart just hasn't come across. He's left a big space, virtually inviting Brasher through, and he plunges over for the opening try of the match.
Simon Forrest, 6 from 7 so far for the year. Very good goal kicker. And that's the reason why the flags go up. And South, they lead by 6-0. Richard will have the restart. And we spoke about Trindle earlier, Russell Fairfax, to coach Andrew Farrar, saying he was the man they must watch.
Well, he's their main man. The more he has the ball in his hand and goes to the line, the more doubt is placed in the defence of the Steelers' minds, and he's just got to take the ball as much as he possibly can, along with his front row. Hermanson and Jim Smith have got to work overtime. If they can do that, and Trindle's the man, this will be a South win.
I'll tell you what, he hasn't scored a try yet. Tricky Trindle all season, but he's set up a few, Gary.
I'm sure he has set up a few. That's an unusual stat, isn't it, for a player of his attacking prowess not to have actually got over the line, but that'll be remedied before the season's out. Coach will be happy if he just keeps setting them up, though.
He has just 1 point against his name, a field goal. Here's Trindle again. Purcell chased him out of marker. Now Brendan Reeves. Good settling kick there by South. They'll have some good position here. Try and trap the Illawarra Steelers down in their own quarter and force the mistake.
Smart kick, eventually got it away after a bit of pressure, but just putting it in the corner, whether it goes out or not, it's difficult for the Steelers to get their way out of that territory. As it is, they're all walking to the scrum. Brad Mackay leading the way. Steelers,
a big kick, Gary.
Having a bit of a rest, yeah, gained 45 metres.
Stay
apart. Troy, keep your head in.
Steelers
Wait, no, Will.
Souths are looking for
Will, just
win
back
number
off.
3 for the year.
I'll give you a ring. Now, head in lock,
Robinson.
head in lock.
Feeds it. Like it comes out for Jonathan Britton. Britton plays it quickly. This is Simon, Craig Simon. He's played 6 games this year for the Steelers. Smith likes to offload, does so. Robinson will back up Purcell here. Hawker struggling to his feet. Referee Chadwell lets play go on. Thought there could have been a penalty. Walsh out the back for Barrett. Now Mackay looking to get on the outside of his man. Must have been dangerously close to offside.
Well, it virtually has to be. If Mackay passes to his winger, Jonathan Britton, it ends up back in Brad Mackay's hands. Have a look at this. Well, maybe a South player touched it in the midst of it. Simon Forrest seemed to have got a hand on it, but it went forward certainly off the winger.
No, stay in. No, Terry, square up. Square up.
And the error is just 1-0.
No, take the weight off, South. Take the weight off. Stay in lock, stay in, go.
Trindle, the Craig wing. Run around for Brasher. They read it well, Trent Barrett. In fact, it was Simon who raced up.
Certainly did read that one. The inside ball was on to Tim Brasher, but Tricky Trindle decided to hold it. He won't do that too many times more this afternoon. Just a big go forward now from South Sydney. And their forwards are very keen, aren't they? Darren Burns now getting some great meters.
Burns will play it back, 30 out. Trindle heavily involved. Hermanson takes some pulling down. Purcell made the tackle.
He runs very straight, Hermanson, but I'll tell you what, they still don't get any good shots on him because he's a very hard man.
Schloss played for New Zealand in the Test match against Australia. Terry Hermanson and the error from
Change over there,
Trindle.
Will.
Done a good job so far, Russell Fairfax, the Rabbitohs, up until that mistake.
Well, they've been solid without being spectacular. The break they made led to a try by Brasher, but here goes McGregor away.
McGregor stepping into a bit of space. Brasher has missed him pointlessly. Robinson was backing up McGregor.
Couldn't get the ball to Will Robinson, unfortunately. Now to the right. Barrett slips over.
Slips, gets back up. Reeves. Walsh Back for Smith. Reeves again, a dummy half. Robinson. Thought about the kick. Mackay. Trent Barrett. Terry Lamey. Now Robinson again. The kick for Britain. Too big.
Well, they're playing it off the cuff, aren't they? The Steelers thought about kicking earlier. Eventually, after a bit of a run around an inside ball, Robinson puts it on the toe. Finds touch. I'm not sure that's what he meant, though. His first option was to just get it into the in-goal area and have Britain chasing through. Tim Brasher had it well covered, though.
Line breaks, one apiece.
No wait, no wait.
10
Stay in,
minutes
Redlock.
gone.
Stay in. Away you go,
South's the
Darryl.
first try scorers.
Darryl, away you go.
There's Chris Caruana.
Line breaks you mentioned. Tim Brasher, the captain for South, coming up with one, and his opposing skipper McGregor, fellow New South Wales player, with the other for the Steelers. They are really the quality players to make the difference today.
Great pass on the inside. Got away by Troy Slattery, just short of the halfway line. Garlick plays it now. Trindle looking to accelerate. Craig Wing, knock on. Brilliantly picked up for a moment it was by Craig
He's got
Simon.
advantage. He's run 4 metres with the ball.
Well, he said advantage was played. It's a tough call, this
Picks
one.
it up, scores, end of story. You take the
Well,
try.
no advantage was gained there by Illawarra, surely.
Well, he did say that if he had actually held it and picked
Same
it up and
again,
scored,
Redlock. Same again,
he would have
Redlock.
played on. But I can't see an advantage there. He really never had control of that football.
Well, now we know why Jad Watts only had 8 first-grade games. He got that decision all wrong.
Craig Wing, really an attacking player.
On that first ball, Russell, there was a knock-on by the South Sydney player.
Oh, definitely a knock-on, yes.
Parsons, that is. Snuck on from the bench, Matt Parsons. Trindle. Oh, big hit. Fast on. That was Trent Barrett. Not nothing for his front on defence.
Well, he caught one in the chin himself, Trent Barrett, with that hit. Gee, knocked the ball out. That was a nice charge from him.
The ball out the back by the Steelers. Now Robinson again. Terry Lamey. Ben Callaway is on the park. Now Mackay takes them forward. Callaway. Mackay. Simon. Good ball. Robinson stepping. Back for Callaway. And Parsons came from behind.
What happened there, Cole?
He's going to give the penalty to the Steelers. Stripping in the tackle.
Heard the referee ask the linesman what happened there. While he was on the ground, South player Matt Parsons pulls it out. The linesman got it right. The referee didn't see it.
This will give 2 points, or a chance for 2 points, to Rod Wishart. Russell will come over and take the kick. 62%, Rod Wishart. What a career he's had, 29 years of age now, Wishart. Joined the Steelers 10 years ago. He's played 20 Origin games, 17 Test matches, and on the 94 Kangaroo Tour. Now with this kick. 13 metres in from the sideline. And he's hooked it. It's hit the upright. Souths, for one moment, the Steelers were about to pounce.
They were. It was well done from Craig Wing there, just to put his body on the line and dive on that ball. Brasher now trying to get them going forward.
Smith.
It was a wobbly kick, wasn't it, from Rod Wishart? Didn't hit it very well.
The best strikers of the ball in the competition. Out the back it goes. Caruana keeps it alive for Darren Burns, who has that ability to slip the great ball to lead to a try. Sloss, Slattery, Trindle, and that's Rodwell up against his old club. His Brett Rodwell still lives down here in the Wollongong area. Back it goes for Trindle. High ball, but straight down the throat of Brendan Reeves. Reeves wants to bring Jonathan Britton into the play.
Must feel a bit strange for Rodwell to be marking up against his old mate, Paul McGregor, today against his old club after spending so many years here.
Imagine it's a lot better playing with Paul McGregor than it is marking him, Gary.
No doubt.
Now Smith. Callaway fires it to Terry Lamey. Tackled right on the halfway line. Tackles so far, the Steelers have done the majority of defence. Andrew Hart in the second row has played a few games at prop forward. Robinson takes them forward with the kick. Good chase put on here by the Steelers. Should pin Brasher down, and they do.
Yes, great effort there, the Steelers. They know that to get themselves back into this match or back onto the scoreboard, they've got to come up with a good kick chase game. They're not getting a lot of yards forward with the football. Their kicking game's been fairly solid.
This man, his Parsons, is one of the tallest players going round, 6'4" in the old language. Sean Garlick accelerates.
Quickly closed up by Andrew Hart, wasn't it, over the top?
Sloss. Wing goes back to Trindle. The kick, once again, Brendan Reeves positions himself well. That was a good chase by Sloss. He's the sort of player who does all the little things in the game exactly right, doesn't he, Jeremy Sloss?
A lot of tackles too last week, 34 in fact. The highest tackle count for the Rabbitohs. It's a real workhorse, Sloss.
Kai goes up over the halfway line. Oh, that pass looked forward. In fact, it was.
I tell you. That's a real simple mistake. Probably what South's been waiting for. Illawarra seem to be just gaining the ascendancy. That's almost intentionally forward, isn't it? He handed it off to him in front of him. Now to look from down right in front of you, Russell Fairfax.
Well, gee, I think the shot we got on the screen then just
Green.
showed it perfectly. I thought it was a line ball, but it's quite obvious that the Steelers are looking to play the game a little bit wider. They're looking to hit the fringes of South Sydney. I think that's where the gap is there. Also, they're looking to string a couple of passes together. Every time they hold the ball, they're looking to put 3 or 4 passes together, hopefully to upset the South's defensive line. So far, it hasn't cracked at this stage, but that's exactly what Farah is looking to do.
Jimmy Smith gets a break. Big Ian Rubin comes on. Now, this man is a man mountain, Ian Rubin.
No, other foot, Terry.
He can do some damage. He's been out injured
Way you go.
a lot of the year. Caruana tries to get involved. It's 2 tries for the season, Chris Caruana. Craig Wing. Rodwell got through the tackle of Barrett.
And that's what Brett Rodwell does so well. Hits the hole and hits it with speed.
As they've come ready to play today by the look of this. Garlic. Trindle. Little kick from Trindle. Pressure on Britton, goes back and tidies up, but Slattery wasn't far away.
Showed some speed there. The lock forward for South Sydney. Troy Slattery chasing through on that Trindle kick. Still fairly early in the tackle count, but it's a good play, isn't it? If you direct the kick well, virtually nothing that the Steelers or your opponents can do, but put it in the end goal. Well, there's the Rodwell bust, just straight through his opponent. He's a strong runner, isn't he?
Early in the tackle count, you have that element of surprise. You can get another set of 6 if it comes off. Very high dropout, this one. Close to bringing rain, and Hermanson winds up, takes on Walsh. Swings out of that one by David Walsh, the veteran. Now Ian Rubin with his first touch. Said he takes some pulling down. Doesn't want to do anything too silly with the ball.
Callaway managed to stop him from slipping that ball away. Out to Trindle on the left.
Nice ball again for Burns. Looking sharp, the Rabbitohs. Sloss stepping off the right boot. Just 1 metre short. Garlic. Trindle, little kick. Here goes Caruana. They'll get another set of 6.
Jeez.
Good pressure.
It is. Trindle has really got his kicking boots on today. His general field kicks have been great. And the few that he's put in behind the defence have been perfectly positioned. Britton there under all sorts of pressure from that chase from South. Manages to bat it with some help from Craig Simon over the dead ball.
High. Instructions. Darren Burns, he leaves the park with a Nasty head knock there.
We're talking instructions, Terry. I'm sure Andrew Farrell will be getting a word out there. Put some pressure on Darryl Trindle. The Steelers are putting no pressure on him whatsoever.
Souths, they lead by 6 points to 0 after 20 minutes. They have had all the ball.
And this is why Trindle's getting a lot of space to throw those cutout balls, the short passes, and put the kicks in, because his forwards are doing such a good job. That's Ian Rubin, his second run. He's come off the bench the last 5 minutes.
There goes Trindle. Inside ball, set play for Brasher. Do a good job at completing their sets of 6, the Rabbitohs. Through goes, quick hands, Wing can't handle it. It was good work on the far side by Slattery. Just a touch too hard for Craig Wing in the end.
Well, they should give themselves plenty of pats on the backs. The Steelers, that's the third set of 6. The Rabbitohs have had the ball. Well, McGregor was well positioned to take Wing there. He was just trying to catch it and slip it through the hands, Craig Wing. They thought they had an extra man with him on the run around, but good defence, the Steelers.
Richard has come off the right wing to do some work. High workhorse, and a classy one at that.
He knows his side just needs to go forward. Numbers out wide. That ball should have gone to McGregor.
Oh, they've gone 40 metres in 3 tackles and they are still going. Flick ball, loose. Robinson picks up for Barrett. Barrett, nowhere to go. Scotty Cram. Taping around the head. That man is Terry Lamey, just short of the halfway line. Callaway. Robinson, a left boot kick. Brasher, not at home for Souths. And eventually he gets back there. Oh, testing the pass. Omar hit hard.
Jeez, incompetent form, Brasher, isn't he? Flinging that ball out wide with a couple of Steelers chasers there. I'll say both sides have been accurate in general play kicking so far today.
Garlic. The hand is 7 metres. Hamilton to Ian Rubin.
Trindle looking on the left.
Munro. Back it goes now for Trindle. Kick. And that's a big kick. Too big.
Yes, just too big there.
He got a bit of leather on that.
He did. He's hitting him well, isn't he? But that's the first blot on his general play kicking copybook for today. Darryl Trindle. Steelers straight back into it, not taking any time to get the ball, trying to advance back up the park.
Craig Fitzgibbon, son of the foundation coach here at the Steelers, and Allen. Slow play the ball. Scotty Cram.
Looking to slip it again. He has got a good pass, Cram. That first ball that he threw last time they had the ball was a bit of a risky one.
McGregor. Rodwell all over his former teammate. This will be a very good battle today.
He's already made one bust, McGregor, and Rodwell's not going to let him do it. Not too often anyway. He was right up in his face that time.
Wilson. Craig Wilson, the former North Sydney Bear and Crusher. It was a very handy play to have coming off the bench. And McGregor tackles his New South Wales teammate there, Tim Brasher. Rodwell looking for a big game today against his old club. And here's Rubin, gains some good metres. Wilson over the top. Sloss, a dummy on the outside, but Mackay wasn't about to fall for it.
Yeah, he was never going to pass that, was he?
Wasn't that convincing, was it?
No. Well, they're getting ready for the kick now. The forwards are starting to leave. Trindle's got it.
And Trindle will run it. He'll test his confidence. Back for Rodwell. Rodwell, one to beat. Slattery. And they got him. Good work by the Rabbitohs, though, on the final tackle.
Well, what about Jonathan Brett coming from the other side, his wing, to make a cover defence tackle about 40 metres from his side of the field. Here's Trindle electing to run, gets them all sliding across the field chasing, pops it for Rodwell. Too much speed there for Craig Wilson. Slattery, well, he looked to pass, did the right thing in the end, but that's a good effort from Jonathan Britton. Try saver.
Keeping the ball alive, both teams. It's been a high-class affair so far, Russell Fairfax.
Yeah, it's been played very, very well. I'm going to look at these two sides, though. Down under here at ground level, it looks like the Steelers are a much more physical side. South Sydney struggling to contain them.
Wishart just taken by the bootstraps. Was he marking up? Robinson makes the tackle. Makes the kick on the final tackle. Brasher. And he does the chasing. Will Robinson. He slowed Brasher down until Walsh arrived.
He's done some work, Tim Brasher, the last couple of sets of 6 and feeling a little bit tired there. You saw he didn't bring it back with the same speed as we're used to.
Well, I can tell you, Terry, the game break of the South has just gone on. Julian O'Neill is on the football field.
Handy player to have coming off the bench, Julian O'Neill. This man is back out there. Darren Burns had a head cut earlier in the game. Trendall. The kick. Britton goes back, who made that try saver on Slattery only moments ago. And they're controlling this game and the tempo of the game at a very good pace, Souths, at the moment.
This is why they're still in the match. Well, they haven't allowed the Steelers to score yet because Trendall's kicked some nice ones into that corner. They need a bit of time to rest. Julian O'Neill, as Russell said, has just come onto the match, the number 17. Certainly a game breaker, keen to get some form on the board for the Rabbitohs. They've got to keep doing this, slowing the Steelers up. They're getting some momentum with the football. They really do look ready to bust the Rabbitohs wide open.
South come with the full
They
set.
have had plenty of ball in this game.
Come up, come up.
They've had it in good position. They lead by 6 points to
bring it
nil.
up, bring it up. Bring him up and move it in.
Steelers have been
No
defending
penalties,
very
come
well.
on. Thanks, Carl.
Robinson. That's Fitzgibbon. And he's got them for being offside as referee Jadwat.
Yeah,
they'll stay back.
They crept up, didn't they, on that scrum? The ball was a bit slow coming out. Pretty fair penalty. Slowly going backwards.
The game has been flowing quite freely. Only 2 penalties after 26 minutes. Oh. It's up without a problem as Walsh to stretch the old back muscles and the legs. Over 100 tackles the Steelers have made so far in this game. Simon hit hard by Burns. There goes Purcell, former lock forward, now playing in the hooking role. Playing park footy 2 years ago. Wilson. Final tackle. Trent Barrett is the key. Chips for himself. Well read by Forrest, but well tackled also by Barrett.
Yes, the winger there, Forrest, just dropping in behind the line, waiting for that. You see Barrett takes it to the line. He just chips over here. Forrest was well back, easily covered. Barrett with a good tackle, but good marks there to the South Sydney winger.
Parsons slips a nice ball. Past Caruana. It wasn't meant for him, but he took it anyway. Now Garlic. It's Darren Burns, 1 out. Final tackle. It's going to go around quickly for Souths. Back it goes for this big right boot. And they'll run it again. Second time in this game. O'Neill with the dummy. He has 2 plays. Caruana, Forrest won't get there. He was just a touch off balance with Caruana. And maybe it cost them.
Gee, great play there from the Rabbitohs, running it on the last again. I'll tell you though, there was a couple of passes there that were very, very iffy. This one here looked to me to be slightly forward, and not this part. Well, question mark over that, but that last one that was there popped up. Could have been forward as well. The referee's right in line with it all the way.
Dazzle stuck by the Rabbitohs. Twice they've run it with great success on the final tackle. They lead by 6 points to nil, Russell, but I'm just wondering, they have had the majority of possession here after 30 minutes. Maybe they should be further in front.
Well, they'd certainly like to have turned this territory into points. But But the Steelers' defence has been pretty good. Their kicking game has been fairly handy. It hasn't been a great deal of breaks. I think South's been delighted to go into the break just leading, to be quite honest.
Rasher plays it back, 32 out from his own. This is Rodwell. McGregor's up on him now. It's McGregor's turn to tackle. Brendan O'Mara up against his old club also. That passes.
He's taken the ball to the line fairly well, hasn't he? We saw him slip a couple of good balls.
56-44. Percentage of possession. Inside ball. Forrest went without it, but already Julian O'Neill has touched the ball twice, Russell, and he's creating some chances.
Well, that's the beauty of Julian O'Neill. He's so experienced. He can put himself in the right position on the field to make best use of his talent, and that is fantastic. Like the way he set that up there, that was on from Forrest. Forrest just muffed the pass. But
No, wait, no.
so many
Take your
things,
time,
Julian
take your time,
O'Neill.
Red.
Great idea to bring him on as a
Stay in
super
South
sub.
block.
It's a bit of a tough pass, perhaps, from Forrest. A bit hard.
Breton into space. Breton got through one. That tackle was Trendle.
What was Trendle doing there? Britton ran over the top of him. He didn't touch him.
Simon. This is Wilson. They'll stretch it. McGregor is waiting for his chance. He gets it now. Rasher slows him down. The Steelers convert this now. Big Smith.
Well, no panic here is needed from the Steelers. They don't score, they come up with a kick in goal and perhaps get it back.
Just be happy to be down this end of the park.
Exactly. Put some more South Sydney players under pressure.
Robinson. This is Simon. Terry Lamey. Has Britton. Doesn't need Britton, does he? Just a metre short. Final tackle. Robinson. Oh, the little kick. Ricocheting. It's still alive, the ball. No, it's not.
Ball's hit me in the goal.
It's hit the referee.
Goal line drop out. The ball's hit me. No, the ball's hit me. No, it's in the goal.
Well, this is interesting. It has hit the referee in the in goal. Now, if it's in the field of
No,
play
it was
when
in
this
the in
happens,
goal.
there's Robinson's kick. In the field of play, it goes to the attacking side. They get the ball back. Because it's in the in goal, they get the advantage with a goal line dropout.
Referee Chadwick got a bit of a shock there, and so did Tim Brasher for a moment.
They had to maybe quickly consult the rule book. I wasn't sure of that one, but that's what they've come up with.
Advantage remains with the attacking side. The second set of 6 tackles now for the Steelers. And they'll relish the chance to attack instead of defending their own line. Scott Cram. Smith. Good angled run by Smith. It takes him pulling down.
And getting up quickly for the play the ball as well. Well done.
Purcell just a touch eager to scoot away there, but he did well. Regained his footing. Gained another 5 metres. Now they come back to the left-hand side. Barrett throws a nice pass. He throws a nice dummy, and he scores a nice try. Try number 9. This guy has all the skills.
Tell you what, coaches say to players like Trent Barrett and halves and 5/8, just throw it all day, and they'll start to hang off. First time he goes for a scoot, you see all the runners he's got there. They're in the holes out wide and inside, but they've just hung off. Barrett takes it to the line. You see it here. Trindle takes the man outside as he has to, but the player that was marking up on him just couldn't hot-foot it with him. Trent Barrett's 9th try of the season has the Steelers right back in this match. Well, he just pushes off Jeremy Schloss there, who's coming across.
Barrett, player to watch for the Steelers. They just dropped off him for one moment, and there was no stopping him. One Origin game, as I mentioned, 9 tries for the season. 21 career tries, Gary, already. He has a very big future.
21 tries in a pretty short time as well. He doesn't just score them though, he's very unselfish. He sets his support players up extremely well too. This guy's kicked a couple of goals in his career, Rod Wishart.
Certainly has. Wishart. It's one a bit closer. And he has once again hooked it badly. Rod Wishart. Normally, that would be an easy one. 6 points to 4.
Well, it was a great piece of play by Trent Barrett. He sized up very quickly. They hung off him. But where was Tim Brasher covering the inside man? Not there.
It's been a very good game so far. Very entertaining. We've seen some great skills from both teams so far. 6 points to 4.
And great control as well. Not too many drop balls.
Barrett. It's a nice ace to have in your pack. Up the forward pack, and this is gone dead. So they'll get the ball back, Souths. That ball wasn't touched. In fact, the Steelers all just stood around, Gary, looking at each other, waiting for somebody to play at the ball.
It seems as though they all thought there was a player there waiting for it. Nobody moved towards it at all. And 5 minutes before the half-time break, you see the kick again. Kicked off, over the head. No one's there. No one's near it.
I tell you, it was a big kick. 55 metres on the fly.
And that's not a big dropout. About 36 metres. And the Rabbitohs back within about almost to the 20-metre line on the second tackle. Here they go now through Ruben.
He often beats that first man, doesn't he, Ian Ruben? Souths, who had a lot of their injury concerns earlier in the season, they are back. Sloss again, working hard off Darryl Tricky Trindle. Burns, decoy runner for Trindle. Craig Wing, back inside for O'Neill. Just misread the pass a touch.
Bit of communication problem there, perhaps. Wing's pass should have been popped up really for O'Neill. He looked like he was giving it to O'Neill on the outside, and Julian ran an inside run.
I guess ironically, Julian or Craig Wing is playing in the position Julian would like, Russell.
Well, I think you're dead right on that. I think Julian wants to play outside Tricky. He's got to earn his spot. The young wing is a player of the future.
Good hit by O'Neill also up under the ribcage of Andrew Hart, who did well to play the ball so quickly. Wilson, Craig Wilson in the space. Tackle 30 out from the line. Final tackle. They have Souths in disarray. Barrett chips for himself. Brasher goes back. Will the ball go dead? It hangs up dangerously close. And now go back to the 20 for the quick tap. And Souths, they have some numbers here on the left-hand side. Sloss, quick hands. Trindle, ankle tap, gets back up. Knocked out by the Steelers. Slattery has it. 6 to go. They need to quick play the ball again. Trindle, Caruana. Geez, that ankle tap was vital, wasn't it?
That's the second time a quick tap from the Rabbitohs. Well, the first time they scored a try within a couple of tackles after a Brasher break. And now they've got the Steelers in some more trouble with only 3 minutes left on the clock. They've just gone to sleep with those 20-metre taps, the Steelers, twice.
I saw Burns take a bad head knock earlier in this game, and now maybe that leg to a bad cork, maybe.
It may have hit the knee of Andrew Hart, I think it was, for the Steelers coming over the top. There they go. This is great hands. The quick tap. Sloss, short hands, gives it to Rodwell. Trindle, and you just see McGregor was flying onto the scene. Knocked down by the Steelers, and play on it was.
Burns will play this back. Trindle. Good ball. Slattery. He's improved as a player, has Troy Slattery. Goes back to Trindle again. Nice pass. Craig Wing. Barrett was up on him quickly. Giving his opposite number nothing. Brasher. Jeb. Britton. Oh, O'Neill went early. O'Neill scores for Souths. We'll go to the video, but I believe
if it was a
this may well be a try. In fact, referee Jedwet believes maybe a knock-on.
Check if it's a knock-on.
Wondering if O'Neill knocked it on in the first case. He jumps early, very keen, O'Neill. You see him jump early. Does he touch it?
No.
He doesn't. No, that's off of the Steelers player. It bounces back into his hands. He's got control of it. Looks like a try for mine.
There's O'Neill. He leaves the ground very early. Britton, though.
It's come off of Britton there, off of his right hand. O'Neill just sees it bounce straight back into his hands. Couldn't be any better. Just goes to ground with it. He's still in the field of play.
And he gets it down.
Just have to have another look at that. Did he get it down? Did he lose control as he went down? This is why the video referees are so important. He's got it in his hands there.
Try. Another look, Gary.
I think I need another look. He comes so close to the camera. I think this is the problem. Just think he might just lose control of it. In there. And glad I'm not the video ref, I'll tell you.
Well, it's a try. Downward pressure. No knock on. And Julian O'Neill is rewarded for his enthusiasm. 10 points to 4. He put a lot of pressure on Britain there.
He did. He was calling for that kick right from the start. He wanted the ball to go up into the air, just over the top. Brasher just took it to the line. O'Neill was level pegging with him, just behind him. He got a bit of attention as well. Jumped early, put Britain off of it, and then he's gathered it in and scored. Well done.
This is Simon Forrest. Rugby Union convert. Very good goal kicker. Easy right, yes. Over it goes. And now Souths lead by 12 points to 4. As Julian O'Neill, the try scorer, as Wishart prepares. So you've got to give those Rugby Union converts their credit. The goal kickers, they're very sharp, aren't they? Simon Forrest.
Well, he's there to do one job. He's obviously not the world's greatest player at this stage, because he's only new to the game, but he's doing his job to perfection. 2 from 2. Souths haven't had a lead like this for some time.
A bit of a sus play, the ball there from Ruben. Ball back inside now, Tim Brasher.
This is James Smith, from a Rooster and a Magpie. Now with Souths, unwanted by West. Munro off the bench. Ruben again. There's a real man mountain. Oh, offload risky. Smith. Final tackle now. Back it goes. Trindle. Stepping. They tried to put pressure on him. Easier said than done. Was he tripped in the back plate? Over his own feet in the end. Big tricky Trindle. He's had a great first 40 minutes. I'll take the tackle. The siren has sounded in the background. We have seen a great opening 40 minutes to this game. Souths, they lead by 12 points to 3. About to get underway in the second half. Referee Jade Watt has kept it fairly free-flowing in the first 40. And Simon Forrest, who has 2 from 2 with the boot, with the restart. And Rod Wishart would like to see a little bit more of the ball in the second 40 minutes. The Steelers have been starved of it. Smith got through the most work for the Steelers in the first 40.
What they did do with the ball, the Steelers, they showed a bit of a defensive problem for the Rabbitohs. On that side of the field they are now. The Rabbitohs' right defence, a little bit brittle. They looked ready to get busted a couple of times. Early in the match we saw Paul McGregor go down that side of the field. I know he plays on the right, but he had one run down the left. That's the area I'd suggest that Andrew Farrell would like to see them attack.
High. He out from his own line. Final tackle. Kick comes from Purcell. It'll bounce up for Brasher. Brasher takes them forward, and Russell Fairfax on the sideline.
It's down here with the assistant coach Ian Millwood and Andrew Farrell at the halftime break. What did he stress?
Well, he wasn't real happy, Russell. You know, we've just got to roll our sleeves up a little bit, and you know, we've got to earn the early yards, and our forwards need to stand up this half and get us some good yardage on early rucks.
Was there much talk about putting some pressure on Trindle?
Yeah, there was, but that was mainly done during the week. You know, at times we're putting pressure, but we're going about the wrong way, and we probably need to do more work there from our markers, getting pressure and staying on his inside.
Well, the wind has turned around. Will favour you guys in the second half. Will we see improved kicking game?
Well, I'm sure we will, but also that'll come with completion and being able to get to the back end of our sets.
And thanks for chatting to us.
Thanks, Russell.
Russell, and thanks, Ian Millwood. And that is a home ground advantage, isn't it? When the wind turns around in the second half and favours your back.
Beautiful, just what you want. And it's interesting, Craig Simon, we saw him at the end of the first half at fullback. He's still back there for the start of this second half, so I imagine there might be a problem with Brendan Reeves in the injury department.
Is one out on the left-hand side. They trail by 12 points to 4, the home side. Robinson. Lamey looking to offload, can't do so. Taken to ground by Hermanson. Final tackle, Robinson. Little kick. Brash is coming across. It bounces awkwardly, but he takes it well. And Britton made the tackle. Tried to get away, but Chris Caruana was just forced across field. And now this is Brendan O'Mara.
You're virtually waiting to be picked off, aren't you, when you run across field like that? The defence moving up. Just couldn't get around him, Caruana.
Garlic. To the open side of the park. Hermanson. You've seen Terry Hermanson's kicking game today. He loses that ball. He lost it stone cold. He won't be happy with himself. He'll say there was a hand in there, but really.
The look on his face says it all. Let's have a look. Well, he did lose it cold. Of course, there was a Steelers player there that made it difficult for him to get up, but nobody touched that ball.
McGregor one-on-one with Rodwell. And Rodwell got hold of the right boot, but only just. Wishart and Will Robinson points him in the right direction. And just a little shove there by Terry Hermanson.
It's fair penalty.
So
get off.
12 points to 4, almost in front. What do? The signals come from the trainer to stop Trent Barrett from taking the quick tap.
This will get them to within a converted try, Gary, so very important, this kick. And in fact, Rob Wishart won't be taking the kick.
Well, here's Wishart. Hermanson just getting up, giving him a little bit of a nudge. Maybe milk that as well, Rod, but the referee was right there.
I think he was more off balance, Russell, as he got to his feet.
Well, it was real Academy Award type stuff, but you can't put your hands on the man playing the ball in the ruck area, so the referee had every right to penalise.
Well, this man possesses a very good boot himself, does Craig Fitzgibbon. Very good stats, and Wishart just having a little bit of an unhappy time. Fitzgibbon, his first attempt of the afternoon. I think Rod Wishart would like to take this one just to get his confidence back up, virtually in front. No problems whatsoever for Fitzgibbon. So the Steelers, they score the first points of the second half. The scoreline now is 12 points to 6. So just a converted try now, an important penalty for the Steelers. They're well within striking distance.
So that decision for Wishart not to take the shots at goal would have been made at half-time. He had the choice there. I reckon he would have gone straight up and taken it.
This has been mentioned as a replacement kicker for Andrew Johns in the New South Wales side, because Johns had just an unhappy day with a boot in Origin 1, but will no doubt bounce back in Origin 2.
No doubt, you reckon? I hope he doesn't bounce back too well. Coming from a Queenslander's point of view, of course.
Independent observer.
Yeah.
Walsh with the offload. 54 to 46, so possession still favouring the Rabbitohs. Mackay. There's been plenty of enthusiasm from South Sydney today. They've turned up ready to play. Smith likes to offload and just retains possession on this occasion, short of the halfway line. Final tackle. Barrett runs around, drops that onto the right boot. He'll chase through along with Wishart. 10 metres out from his own line. Rodwell took that ball well. It was starting over his left shoulder.
A little bit high, not a great ball. Plenty of work being done there from Garlick, Schloss and Slattery for the Rabbitohs. And they've had a lot of work to do early in the second half, haven't they? The Steelers have been up in their territory the whole time, the whole 3 or 4 minutes.
Garlick accelerates and picks up a handy 10 metres. Final tackle now. Where's Trindle? Back on the open side. Britton, and once again, he's so elusive, isn't he? And he still is able to put a kick in, but Craig Simon was there to drop back and take it.
Well, Will Robinson's no slouch himself, and he couldn't match it then with him, could he?
Smith bounces off one. And Neil about to come back on, along with Matt Parsons. Andrew Hart being forced backwards there by Rodwell. That's the halfway line. Slow play the ball. Walsh lost his momentum. The pass is going behind him, leading forwards. Andrew Hart, 25 tackles for the game. Barrett. Simon trying to get a set plays working out wide, the Steelers. Go the short side. Oh, there's Britton. In fact, Fitzgibbon it was. Great work by Brasher.
Jeez, just recovered that Tim Brasher, hasn't he? That kick just getting through the hands and looked like Fitzgibbon might have got a toe to it, but just got it back in. Just have a look at it here. Diving. Brasher, it's good work. You can almost see the opposition scoring that try before he got it.
Now Terry Hermanson will be able to make up for giving that penalty away. Good hit by Mackay. Hart came across and made the tackle. Trendle, Brasher, kicks in general play, end over end. Simon continues to play in the fullback position. And he stayed alive to give the ball. O'Mara. Tackled footy out from the try line. What a great pass from Barrett.
Blood bin, Sean, you're bleeding.
Sean Garlick will be sent to the blood bin. He's just got blood coming from a cut in his mouth. Jadwat has spotted that. Just looking to try and get it tidied up if he could on the park. And he'll just wash the blood away. And there's a big hold up here. Too keen to leave the park is Sean Garlick, so that means Craig Wing will come back onto the field. He's in no hurry, Sean, is he, Russell?
He certainly is. I'm just looking at him. It's not a bad cut. There's a little bit of blood there. He will get it cleaned up. He'll be back out there real quick.
12 points to 6. The Rabbitohs in front, looking for win number 3 for the season. Smith with a good charge and a good ball. Simon. Now Will Robinson. Barrett runs onto the ball. Wilson. Back for McGregor stepping. Gets around Brasher. Gets around Wing. Gets around another. What a solo effort. McGregor has brought the house down at Wynn Stadium. He stood up for and scored the try. And that's why he's back in the New South Wales side.
Is there anyone in the South team Paul McGregor didn't beat? Let's just have a look at this ball. He gets out here. He gets his little inside ball, beats one. Inside Brasher just steps out of that tackle. Another beats Wing's tackle. O'Meara as well. And he's in the hands of Matt Parsons as he goes over the line. He is so elusive and strong as well. Just pushing with his hands as well when he gets out. You see that left hand coming into play and just stretching out over the line. Paul McGregor, you are a champion player and so hard to tackle.
I love him down here at Wynn Stadium, and this is the reason why. Stepping, fending, swerving, and then scoring. A big job, and Jadwat was there to award the try. Don't forget, he missed last week with injury, did Paul McGregor. 43 career tries. He came into football late in his career, really, Gary. He was running around in the local competition. He was Rookie of the Year back in 1991 when he made his debut. Now Craig Fitzgibbon, 1 from 1. And we're going to have a pretty good finish on our hands here at Wynn Stadium. Fitzgibbon. Strikes it nicely. The flags are up. The ball game is tied up here at Wynn Stadium, 12 points apiece.
Well, it all started with a drift defence. A couple of quick balls pushed the South Sydney drift defence. They drifted just a touch too far. That's where he came back in, McGregor. Now that's the shot. Wing had the best shot at him all day. He couldn't make the tackle. The rest didn't have a chance once he got past Wing.
Forrest gets proceedings underway. Oh, Wishart. He juggled that in the dead ball. Zone. Oh, comes away. Good kick return there by Rob Wishart.
Well, it wasn't real good at the start, was it? They almost let that go, that kick-off go dead. But I'll tell you what, they're doing a good job all over the park, the Steelers, as are the Rabbitohs, but you rely on your great players to come up with something special. You've seen it from Brasher earlier with South Sydney and McGregor. One of the best tries I've seen this year, individual tries.
And it begs the question, is he too good a player to have coming off the bench in the Origin? Will they start with him next Friday night in New South Wales?
Oh, I'd like to see him off the bench and not get too much time on the field.
They're saying that as a Queenslander.
He's a great player.
Barrett puts that kick in. Brasher comes across. And it goes dead. Russell Fairfax, I might get your comment on that. McGregor.
Well, this is only a personal opinion. I think E.T.'s a great player, but I'd like to see McGregor in the centres with Terry Hill. I'd start with that.
Ian Rubin now takes the ball and takes it pulling down. Gave 3 a piggyback there. Oh, blunder offside.
He's put him onside. Have a look where he's finished.
They put him onside is the call from referee Janway. I thought it was offside initially.
Well, Caruana was going around behind him. I think it could have been offside. Line ball call. We'll stick with the referee.
Well, we're locked up at 12 points also. All these calls, they become more vital now, Russell, don't they?
They certainly do. That ball was knocked forward. I think the referee would have been quite within his rights to give a penalty to the Steelers then.
They have possession from this run. Barrett. He's starting to run the ball a touch more. Scored a spectacular try in the opening half. Now Smith, who hasn't shirked his responsibility whatsoever today, leading the hit-ups. Across it goes. This is Scotty Graham. Graham, normally in the starting side, now coming off the bench.
They're very deep out to the left here, the Steelers. Robinson calling for it.
Well, Barrett can throw a nice pass. Wilson standing. He wants to keep that ball alive desperately. And they've stacked numbers on the left-hand side. Kyle come back to the open. Graham has it. McGregor. And this time Slattery makes the good tackle. Final tackle. Robinson. High ball. And Brasher takes it. Close to the post. Did he take it in the field of play and was forced back? He wasn't doing it. And it'll be a goal line dropout.
Heard that from the referee. He wasn't held. He's in the field of play. It actually bounces off the pad around the posts. And they've come in, kept his momentum going and pushed him over the line. A couple of South players there trying to help him, but really none of them could get behind him. They're dragging him and pushing him. 6 or 7 Steelers to that play.
Trindle. 40 metres on the fly now. Smith. Offload. And Callaway crawls back. Look at that, 50-50 now, the possession. First time in the game that Illawarra have had an even share of the ball. And the home crowd starting to get behind the Steelers.
They virtually had all the ball this half, haven't they? It seems that way.
Callaway. Robinson. As elusive as Will Robinson, a former Rabbitoh himself and a Balmain Tiger. Barrett. Simon looking for support. Swivels, loses it. Brasher has it. He swooped on that very quickly, the skipper.
Gee, they opened up there, didn't they? Simon just couldn't position his support player, trying to get the ball free, and Brasher has dived on it. May have been knocked out there by a South player.
See, Brasher looked like he was offside when he retrieved that football. Looks like it came off the legs of the defensive player. Lucky to get away with it, South Sydney.
They survive. Matt Parsons. Over 8,000 people here today.
No doubt enjoying a great game of rugby league. Both sides playing some good football.
With the hands. James Smith, not a regular kicker. That's the reason why, but he'll say, I found touch. That's all you can do.
Well, it could have been worse, couldn't it?
Been a lot
gone
worse.
out on the full, gone straight to a Steelers player.
A lot worse.
Trindle didn't give him too many options there, did he? And he just come off the side of the boot, a couple of bounces, and it was out.
I can tell you the Steelers have really lifted a cog down here after that last try. The crowd are getting right behind them. It's just all the Steelers at the moment.
Craig Simon.
Geez, open them up again, Craig Simon. That's 3 times in this half.
Barrett swung the ball. It's given to McGregor. He wants a quick play. The ball could have been a second tackle. Jonathan Britton. Now they're on a roll.
Got to go wide.
Wilson. Barrett loses it, regathers it all by himself. They want 6 to go. It's not. Wilson. Scotty Cram. Oh, looking for the flip pass out the back. That would have been dangerous. Final tackle now. Robinson. Little grubber kick. Big in goal. There he is here.
Who's
Not
that
big
off?
enough for the Steelers.
He touched it.
Comes back to the 20.
They've let that go dead. I'll tell you what, it looked like if that Steelers player had been on the outside there of Forrest, he might have touched it down, but just over the dead ball line when he got a hand to it.
Oh, backwards. Only just, but it did go backwards. I'm not too happy, Russell.
Well, South Sydney, the fatigue season set in with South Sydney. They've switched off. All they've done is this half is defend, defend, defend. Now they've got the ball in their hand. They're having a heap of trouble. Not like the first half.
Smith. Now Smith, James Smith. Experiencing the South's back of Brasher as skipper. Oh. Trindle hasn't been as dominant in the second half. 18 minutes gone.
Well, I don't think Trindle's got a kick away yet. In the first half, that was the crux of South's attack.
Final tackle. Here's that. Trindle accelerates. They are dicing here.
Do they know it's the last tackle?
Slattery and wrapped up by McGregor. They had plenty of time to get a kick away.
3 opportunities to kick they had there, and nobody took it upon themselves to reap it upfield. Steve Martin, the coach for South Sydney, would be feeling a bit anxious at the moment, I imagine, if not angry.
All at once, I imagine.
Maybe.
Now here's Robinson. And Mackay. Julian O'Neill is out there for Souths. Terry Lamey, that's a great hit over the top by Matt Parsons. Inside ball for Wilson, 17 on 17. Callaway, who kicks from dummy half. Oh, bounces badly for Forrest. It's a try for the Steelers. Simon Forrest has made a blunder and paid a high price. We will go to the video referee.
By South.
And we'll take a closer look.
Very simple kick there, Dean Callaway. It is getting an awkward bounce. Forrest just steps right over the top of the ball. And did he put it down before Callaway did? It's the question that has to be asked of the video referee.
Simon Forrest, he's touched this ball, but I don't think he's forced it, Gareth.
Looked like he was going to pick it up, didn't it? You see him try to pick it up. He steps over it. Britton's there. He hasn't placed it, forced it with any downward motion. Then Callaway may have.
Oh, he has. He has won the day, Simon Forrest, has he?
I think he may have.
On the second grab, he got there just. Red light. Exactly right. And the crowd probably won't understand, but I think that's a good decision.
Well, I'll have to go with that. It's a tough one for the video ref, and he went in dragging it back towards him. I think he just forced it downwards. Did you see it that way, Russell?
Well, the final angle proved that he got a touchdown. Here's the same angle again we're talking about. There's the fumble, and you just watch. Over comes the first Steeler player. Here comes the hand down right there. That's where he's forced it, so the referee's spot on.
Exactly right. Good decision, and one of the reasons we have a video referee, the Steelers will get a second chance.
Oh.
No, Robinson.
Knock on
Well, that
both
all came
ways.
from a very good hit by James Smith.
It was a good hit. They need someone to come up with a good play. The Rabbitohs, they're under a lot of pressure here from a confident Steelers outfit. Smith put the hit on that drove David Walsh backwards. The pass wasn't a great one to Robinson, and he couldn't handle it.
Go, go, go.
Well, they haven't seen too much of the ball, have they, Souths? Oh,
And they lost it again.
well, hero and villain, Russell, really. Simon Forrest, he's having a mixed game on that right wing.
Well, this is like a casual run them and hitting the ball up. Like it was a casual chase for that previous kick. And now it could all be turned around.
Andrew Hart, 19 minutes to go. Went for a great finish. 2 players in this tackle, 3.
3, in fact, when you see the arm over the top there from, I think it may have been Schloss.
Trindle in the end just ripping it out, but there were 3 Rabbitohs in there. And it was a simple numbers game for referee Jack Platt. He just had to count up the jerseys. And penalties so far, Illawarra 4-0. Well, Souths have not received a penalty, so I guess you could say that Illawarra must be playing perfect footy.
Well,
they haven't
playing
been caught
good,
yet.
playing perfect footy, but they're playing fairly well. Fitzgibbon, of course, filled in. He's the goal kicker now. Took over the duties in this second half from Wishart. And of course, when Wishart missed a lot of games at the start of the season, he kicked very well.
Fitzgibbon. Lining this one up. This has been the toughest of his attempts so far. This could break the deadlock, though. It's tied up at 12 all. Strikes it across the face. The flags are up. The deadlock is broken. And the Steelers lead by 14 to 12. And he's made a difference with that right boot. As Fitzgibbon. Scoreline now 14 points to 12 at Wynn Stadium. The Steelers have clawed their way back. A couple of penalties have helped out greatly.
They have helped. They deserve to be in the lead, though, the Steelers. They've played some very good footy. It was the Rabbitohs that, of course, led at half-time. 12 points to 4. But this is why they're going so well. Andrew Hart, 25 tackles and 4 hit-ups. But Craig Smith, 19 hit-ups and 23 tackles. Brad Mackay not far behind him. They're the players that get you your momentum going forward, that give the talented players, the likes of Barrett, McGregor, some room to move.
The game's not over yet. Back it goes, Barrett. Drops it onto that right foot. Brasher has had a lot of work to do in the fullback position. It just allows that one to give his forwards a little bit of a breather because they have been doing a mountain of defensive work, so they'll take their time to get back there.
Yeah, Brasher just watching that to go over the sideline, and they're still walking back to the scrum.
He'd be happy with that result. He would have been willing that ball over. Who'd be a coach? Russell Fairfax, Steve Martin under pressure.
He wouldn't be real happy as he barks out the orders, but these were the exact tactics that South Sydney used in the first half. They played to this corner on a number of occasions, ball rolled out over the sideline, and South Sydney had the same deal that the Steelers are having now.
Well, Rodwell tries to take some 27 missed tackles there for the Rabbitohs, so it's starting to hurt. They wheel to the far side of the park. That's Matt Munro. Likes to offload the footy. Averages 5 offloads per game. There's Matt Munro from the bench. Garlic. Now Hermanson. I mentioned we hadn't seen his kicking game earlier. I thought he was about to kick then. He has a very good kicking game.
He was in the perfect spot for it. Wisely didn't kick it. It was the 4th. Now the 5th, and Trindle running.
He's running, but he might get caught. He doesn't. He promotes it again. Junior's play. Caruana sprints. Now he kicks. It comes off Simon. It should be an Illawarra feed if he played at it.
Oh, I think
Into
Craig
it.
Simon's played at that. You just see him put his hands out. A great bust. Trindle, the dummy, straight through. The little offload. He knows that he has to get rid of it for the last tackle. O'Neill, very good draw and pass, and now Caruana. He drops it just onto the boot. It's come off of Simon, but
Given the feed here to...
I think it should go to South Sydney from what I saw.
Hang on.
Gone to Will Robinson. Steelers.
He's agreed with you, Terry.
So we're pretty happy about that. And they still remain, they haven't shut up shop at all, the Rabbitohs, have they? Chancing their arm in that final tackle, but some gaps starting to open. Hermanson made the tackle. Wishart. Looking for a quick play the ball. Loose one. Oh, Mackay fumbles it, regathers. He always seems to be on the spot to do the hard stuff, the tidying up off the park.
That was an ordinary pass, wasn't it? They don't need to panic at all, the Steelers, for that matter, the Rabbitohs, but they really need to just get going forward. This is the first time they've had the ball in the second half, and their forwards haven't really dug in and got them on the front foot.
Well, he timed that beautifully, Trent Barrett, but Tim Brasher was well positioned, and he brings it back, and Barrett makes the tackle on Brasher.
And that's the end result, really. From 60 metres out, it's hard for Barrett to put the ball and get a great chase into that corner. If they'd gone a little bit further with their forwards from 40 metres out, it's a different story.
Now Brendan O'Mara, Sean Garlic, 26 tackles, and James Smith 20, 22 for Sloss. Tackles gone for Souths. Parsons looking for the inside ball to Sloss. He gets the outside ball to Ruben, and Ruben was swarmed upon. Final tackle now. Who knows what they'll do on this final tackle, the Rabbitohs. Trindle, back to Brasher. Takes it to the line of touch and then gets a kick away. And the Rabbitohs, they go up there in numbers. They are straight across the park, in fact. No way through for Simon.
And when that ball was kicked by Brasher, Matt Munro was virtually standing next to Craig Simon. Munro, of course, playing for the Souths, was about 30 metres downfield by the time the ball got to Brasher.
13 minutes to go. Smith. He's been a colossus with the offload. Callaway. So Dean Callaway. Play it back to Craig Wilson. Barrett. Back in behind the markers. Brasher makes the tackle. Good for somebody to fill in. Trindle's back there in the fullback position. And that little kick from Wilson will go out. Imagine Souths would be pretty happy with that.
Well, they're struggling to make some tackles. Brasher, the fullback, had to make 2 there in a row. Of course, that means they're getting through that defensive line. Kick into the corner. Just over 11 minutes remaining. There's one fellow here who can score tries from anywhere. It really is up to the Rabbitohs now to get up to the other end of the field and try to get some continuity in their game, get the ball back a couple of times.
There's a referee, Jed Watt. There's a bit of a shepherd there, Trindle. The Rodwell tackle. Nice Scott Crown. This has been Matt Parsons. Probably one of the tallest players going around in the competition. Jeremy Sloss. Averaging 34 tackles per game. this season is Sloss. Reuben.
Not a small fellow either, is he, Ian Reuben?
Likes the gym work. O'Neill throws the dummy. Rodwell. This is the part of the game where the likes of O'Neill and Trindle will come into their own. He should be fresh, O'Neill. Trindle again. Stepping. And kicking. Back for Rod Wishart. It's a pretty good kick too by Trindle. And Rodwell.
It just doesn't cease to amaze me how many chases come through on Trindle. Very, very fast, and he's going to step them every time. I mean, you've got to go up towards him and steady yourself, because he doesn't like to put a kick away with someone right on top of him, and there might be a chance of catching him, but he steps around them every time. I know he's very sharp on his feet, but...
And it makes a difference, that extra 10 or 15 metres he can pinch.
Yeah, exactly, before he puts the kick away.
Inside the final 10 minutes, 2-point ball game. Steelers in front, 14-12. Scott Graham, tackle, 31 out from his own line. Back it goes now for Barrett. The right boot again. Brasher is back there, waiting for it, looking forward to it. Sockers it down. And gets it back to 30 metres out from his own try line.
It's been a real feature today, hasn't it, for the Steelers, a kick and chase game. 5 players up there surrounding Brasher. He had too many opportunities to bust them on those kick returns. You normally expect him to make 2 or 3 every match.
Forrest. Reuben checks out of this game and James Smith comes back in. Sloss, 1 out run, needed some support. Trindle again, might kick here, does so. Brasher was taken out in back play and Trindle made the tackle.
Yeah, they got in Tim Brasher's way. That was a planned move, but they tried to milk it as well. You see him there, they gave him a bit of a thump, then he decided to dive on the ground. Never going to get a penalty for that one.
There was plenty of traffic there, Russell.
There's a host of traffic. I thought Trindle would have been better served to hold the football. They need to play up their sets of 6. That's what South need to do from here on in.
It's a compliment to the Steelers' defence, isn't it? That's resorting to tactics of trying to get the ball over the top. They haven't been able to make any busts. Well, not that I can remember in this second half, the Rabbitohs.
The Steelers have been successful and they've denied them possession. That's been the wonderful work by the Steelers in this second half.
The initial knock-on came from Illawarra, so while it looks like it could have been 6 to go, referee Jed Watwell played the initial knock-on.
It did go forward. You see Fitzgibbon trying to get it inside. That went forward. It didn't hit the ground, but it's still as classed as a knock-on before the Rabbitohs player did the same.
Right. Let him know. Let him know. I still want 10 metres, all right?
Mike McDonald.
Come on, let's go, South.
10 metres kept. Andrew Farrer.
Bind in, no weight. No weight. Take the... Illawarra, take the weight off! No, hang on.
His side is in front by 2 points, 14-12.
Where you go?
7.5 to go.
Good to hear that from the referee.
Come up.
He's having a bit of trouble with this scrum.
Move it back and there's
Moving
no
them back to the 20-metre mark.
Trindle.
But he's told both sides he wants a good 10. He doesn't want to start having to penalise teams. He hasn't done too much of that this match. He wants them both to keep behind him in defence.
He's let the game flow. It's been a free-flowing game. Just Slattery. He's had a good game for Souths. Rodwell picks up James Smith. The offload there to Matt Munro. Just up over the halfway line now. They haven't had a lot of football in the attacking 20, Souths. Trindle looking for a way round the tired forwards, but they came out and got him.
Well, no runners at all with him as well. That doesn't help. He's struggling there and he's lost it.
This is what they've been looking for. Penalty for some quality possession.
Craig Smith is the offender. He's come over the top. They're holding him down. And as Trindle struggles to get up, well, Smith's got his hand in there, and that's a good ruling from the referee. Chance now for the Rabbitohs to even it up.
Trindle, I think we saw a little bit of his experience come out there, Russell.
Well, it was classy stuff by Trindle. If that's your bag, it's not my bag, but if you can get a penalty, fair enough. Referee, I think he got it right though, the ref.
So Simon Forrest. Record has been good today, 2 from 2. And he can't keep that intact and can't get it dead. The Steelers come away and Simon did a good job.
I think he's had a good game. Craig Simon starting in the centres and filling in at fullback.
Wishart likes to gallop from dummy half.
Kicking into a very strong breeze there too, Forrest, so I guess you've got to give him some credit. It wasn't such a bad kick.
Pretty stiff breeze blowing straight into the face of the Rabbitohs. Smith. Yet another hit up. He's made a mountain of them.
Just over 5 minutes left. The Steelers, no mistakes from them. That would be what the coach wants. And a good kick into the corner with a big chase. Don't try anything fancy here.
There's Barrett. And straight to Brasher. So Brasher will get it back. And upended by Mackay.
Stepped right back into Mackay's left shoulder.
Well, I just thought if he could have got that away to Trindle, there was a little bit of room.
There was. Rodwell as well was on Trindle's outside.
O'Mara goes for a gallop.
Real venom in the tackles now. We've just seen from McGregor and Wishart.
Matt Munro taken by 3 Steelers. Mercer, Smith, Callaway. Trindle picks up Smith. O'Neill back for Trindle. Brasher chimes in. Slattery. Oh, Wishart was close to taking it.
Well, in different circumstances, almost would have expected Wishart to take the intercept and run 40 metres and score.
It's a pretty good kick for Trindle because he didn't have a lot of room to work for, but I think fatigue is setting in on both teams.
Pretty good kick as well for the Steelers. That's 30 metres or 20 metres out where it goes into touch, and the clock is just ticking away. A couple of sets of 6 left in the match.
Slattery. McGregor scored that magnificent solo try. Wishart, no luck with the ball early. Smith has been one of the best in the forward pack for the Steelers. We have 3.5 minutes to go. Probably 3 lots of 6 tackles left in the game. Mackay. Need to try and force an error here, Souths. And Wilson. Craig Wilson jumps to his feet. Smith. He's still working as hard now in the 77th minute as he was in the 7th. Andrew Hart. Good play the ball by Hart. Oh, just left
Touched by a South Sydney player.
And Rodwell took it like a pass. They have forced the error. The knock-on came, and Wishart must take the credit. This is a very big play here.
We'll have another look at it. It was touched by a South Sydney player. Wishart's knocked it out. It's gone forward from him. And that's where the complaints come from Brendan O'Meara.
It's their ball. It's their ball.
You see a lot of pressure there. It came off a South Sydney player, so they were all onside. But Wishart was the man that knocked that out. No, come on, get your head in.
50-50 call. And exactly the result the Steelers were hoping for. They haven't panicked. Smith. Brasher makes the tackle with Slattery. Barrett. Wilson. Andrew Hart. Andrew Hart. He breaks the game open for the Steelers and wins it for the home side. Andrew Hart scores. The Steelers victorious over Souths. A very gallant Souths.
Well, it broke their heart, that penalty a few moments ago. The run around, Hart gets it. Munro's coming across. Just too hard, that tackle. He was just too far away from Hart, who was running into a big hole. You see Barrett with the run around. Clever play, just slips the ball. And Munro was caught between coming into Barrett and staying out for his man. He should have stayed out. And Hart just strides through that tackle and dives over about 15 metres from the posts.
Drew Hart, another local product, and he celebrates with McGregor, who scored a pretty good try himself. Mentioned a local grade adjust in 1996 here at the Steelers. He had a very big game against Canberra. And they're shell-shocked. I know they only have 2 wins for the year, Souths, but their last few games, Gary, have been very, very close.
Well, they showed a lot of heart today, didn't they? They were great in the first half and haven't seen much football at all in the second half.
And that's been the difference, just starved of the footy.
I think the Steelers played a very, very solid 40 minutes of football.
It's heartbreaking stuff for the Rabbitohs as they wait behind the line. Fitzgibbon. His right boot has done a magnificent job. Big shoes to fill, replacing a kicker like Rod Wishart, and he's done it in style, this man. He misses this one. It doesn't count though. 18 points to 12, the final score. And the Steelers have come from behind to down a very, very gallant South Sydney.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.
This program brought to you by McDonald's new M Selections range. It's a little bit fancy.